Greetings and welcome to the Developing Dad podcast. I am your host, Michael J. Griffin Jr., and today we're going to talk about Steph and Ayesha Curry's open marriage. All right, but before we get started, I need you to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any of the content that I am producing. And don't forget, channel memberships have started. So if you want to go deeper, join the channel. All right, let's get straight to it. Okay, unless you've been living under a rock recently in a black manosphere, you know that Steph and Ayesha Curry, they've been outed as having an open marriage. All right. So I want to talk about this from four angles. Okay. First angle is definitions. Definitions matter. We're living in a culture where words have lost their meaning. Now you can have an open marriage, and an open marriage definitionally is like a square circle. Marriage is a man leaving his father and mother and holding fast to his wife. Genesis 2:24. Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And Jesus picks back up on this in Matthew 19:4. And he answered and said unto them, and this is a teaching about divorce, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder. There's a problem with definitions. You cannot have an open marriage. By definition, a marriage is closed. It's one man, one woman, together for life. God has joined it together. No man can separate it, even the man and woman inside of the marriage. An open marriage is by definition impossible. All right, the second thing I want to talk about is why choosing wisely matters. Steph Curry is at the top of his game. Let's take a look at Proverbs 18:22. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor of Yahweh. Steph Curry is at the top of the basketball world, just passed up the three-point makes record, has been lauded for a long time as the best shooter in the world. And now this news comes out. So he's had some issues. His parents have gotten divorced, and that was a black mark, right? You don't want that happening as a public figure. But now he and his wife are said to have an open marriage. He chose poorly in his youth. He chose poorly. He chose a woman who initially, from my estimation or from my research, didn't want him to begin with, and looked at him as a lame. And she still probably views him the same way. He's on the top of the pyramid or the top of the mountain as a basketball player, but he doesn't even have the respect of his wife in his home. She doesn't view him as the greatest shooter of all time. She still views him most likely as that lame simp who chased after her and wanted her, and someone who she shunned, right? She was out trying to make it as an actress, and he was still pursuing her. Steph Curry did not find a good wife. This is an issue. And what's happening inside of the wife, you can see the results of what's going on inside of the marriage, now spilling out over into the rest of the world. And let's look at this. This is the third thing, a quarrelsome wife. Proverbs 21:9, it says, it is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house, right? And then Proverbs 25:24 repeats this. It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Same thing. It's so important that it repeated it twice. So what does it mean that she's always brawling and angry and fighting? And no, you can have a woman who has a deep-seated resentment for you as a husband, who will make your life bitter. It will make it so that you would much rather be in the corner of your housetop, in a small house, just in a corner somewhere by yourself, in a man cave somewhere hidden off, than to actually be in what is probably, and they have a pretty big house, a wide house, much space, with a brawling woman. You would much rather, like, this woman has, I think it's 3 kids for Steph Curry right now. He finally got his son. She has multiple children for him, and she's still not satisfied. She is looking for the gaze of other men. She came on Jada Pinkett's red table. And if you haven't figured out yet that Jada Pinkett is the mastermind behind destroying so many, she's the archetype for destroying black love and black marriages. Then this is it. She is without a doubt I would say, the queen mother of all of this. She is on a rampage. She is it appears to me that she's trying to destroy traditional marriage, but because she's miserable inside of her, she doesn't want to see anyone else be successful. You notice that most every black woman that goes on that show, on her red pill or red table talk show, either divorces their husband or like comes out twerking, or eventually has an open marriage, or something weird is happening inside of their marriage. This woman needs to be stopped. Okay, we need to make sure that our wives have nothing to do with this mindset. And Jada Pinkett-Smith is the archetype for this wicked mindset. But it doesn't always mean contentious and quarrelsome. Doesn't always mean boisterous and open and loud and defiant. You can have, again, Ayesha Curry has a deep-seated resentment for Steph Curry because she doesn't believe that he deserves all of the fame and fortune and accolades that he's gotten. This man has put in the countless hours of work to perfect his jump shot and is at the top of the basketball world, and she still resents him. She wants the gaze of other men. She probably feels that their marriage was a mistake, that she's now trapped, that she can't achieve all of the things that she wants to achieve, regardless of the fact that she has less than 0.1% of Steph Curry's talent. She wants what he has. She wants the gaze of others. She wants worship. She wants the idol worship that is given to him. And she has contempt for him because of that. And she's making his life miserable. He is probably the one that agreed to this. Because, again, it's either agreed to this or she makes his life a living hell. Possibly take the children. Shatters his family. He's probably seen what's happened to his father, even at this late of an age, what happened with his mother and father. He doesn't want that to happen. But it's basically a ticking time bomb. Ayesha's a ticking time bomb. And eventually she's going to do to him what his mother did to his father, because she has a contempt for him. All right, the next one. Whoa. I've seen people, again, this goes back to the initial point about definitions. Woe to them, Isaiah 5:20, who call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. We as a black community have to be able to call this open marriage garbage out. There's so many people who are trying to champion what's going on. Well, you don't know if it works for them. It works. That's pragmatism. It's not about what works. It's about what is true. It's about what is godly. It's about what thus saith the Lord. Does God say that a marriage can be open? He does not. It is by definition a closed system. You cannot have an open marriage. It's like having a square circle. We've got to be able to say there's a curse upon those who would switch what is dark for what is light. They're to switch what is sweet for what is bitter. And we've got to be able to call this out. This is a non-negotiable. Marriages are meant to be closed. Marriages are meant to be between one man, one woman for life. That's the biblical picture. That's what we need to advocate for. We need to call out those who would say otherwise. An open marriage is like a square circle. By definition, it does not exist. This is just adultery. If they have taken a covenant before God and said that a covenant agreement between two people, that what God has brought together, we've been brought together by God, let no man put this asunder. Even the two men, quote unquote, man and woman, who are the ones who made the covenant, neither one of them should be putting this asunder. Nobody should. This is a covenant made before God, and a covenant before God is binding, and we need to be able to recognize that. Woe to those who would say that that is not something that we need to uphold, a covenant made before God. All right. So remember, these are the 4 things. Remember the definition of marriage. Be able to define it biblically, right? So you can see when someone says an open marriage or polygamous marriage, these things ought not be. Okay. The second thing, choosing wisely matters. Choosing wisely. Make sure that you choose a godly wife. Ayesha Curry is not godly. Steph chose poorly. Now I'm going to get into a little bit more about Steph and his theology later, but he chose poorly. And the quarrelsome wife, the third point, the quarrelsome wife doesn't always mean boisterous, loud, and angry and aggressive. It can be someone who has a low level of contempt or a high level of contempt for you, and they can ruin you. It is better to choose wisely and to make sure that you choose someone who has a genuine respect, honor, and admiration for you. All right. And then the fourth thing is woe to you who would call this evil thing, an open marriage, a good thing. This is evil. It's wicked. We need to call it out. We need to say that this is not what God intended, and this is evil. This is darkness in place of light. All right. So I'm going to leave you all with that one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me the tithe, the offering, and the building fund. And I will see you all on the next one. And until next time, be on alert, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. All right. See y'all around. Bye. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so on Patreon or on Cash App, or you can support the school that my wife and I have started. All links will be in the description. All right, see y'all on the next one. Bye.